welcome to the Maths Darshi. So today we are going to discuss the division algorithm of the polynomials. So we have so far seen the basics of polynomials. We have obtained different relationship between the zeros and the coefficients of the polynomials. So we are going to learn the division of the polynomials, how to divide one polynomial by another polynomial. So let us consider a polynomial 3x to the power 4 plus 6x cube minus 2x square minus 10x minus 5. Here we are provided with two of its zeros as root of 5 by 3 and minus root of 5 by 3. These are the two zeros of the given polynomial. So now the question says we need to find the other two zeros. So how to do that? We are given with two zeros, we need to find the other two zeros. So just a reminder, just a refreshing, is nothing but a linear polynomial will have one zero, a quadratic polynomial with degree 2 will have two zeros, a cubic polynomial will have three zeros, so on. So usually the degree of the polynomial will be nothing but equal to or greater than the number of zeros, or in general terms, if I want to say, the number of zeros will always be lesser than or equal to the degree of the polynomial. The maximum number of zeros a polynomial can have is equal to the degree of the polynomial. So here we are given with an expression having a degree 4. So we might say this particular expression might have 4 zeros or less than that. Maximum it can have 4 zeros. 2 are already given. We need to find the other zeros. From the given two zeros, that is root of 5 by 3 and minus root of 5 by 3, we can say x minus 5 by 3 and x plus 5 by 3 are the two factors of p of x. Usually we derive the zeros from the factors of p of x. What are factors? Factors are nothing but when we multiply all the factors of the given expression, we will be ending up getting the expression. So that is p of x is equal to p1 of x, p2 of x, p3 of x, and so on, where p1, p2, p3 are the factors of the p of x. So here we are given with the x minus root of 5 by 3 and x plus root of 5 by 3 as two factors of p of x. I can consider p1, these two as p1 of x and p2 of x. So they are, by looking at them, they are in the format a minus b and a plus b. So does that sound familiar? Yes, of course. So we know that a plus b into a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. So from the given two factors, we can derive x minus root of 5 by 3 into x plus root of 5 by 3 is equal to x square minus 5 by 3 as the factor of p of x. How did I get that? In case if you have a number x and if a and b are the factors of that number, then I can say a into b, or the product of those two factors, will also be a factor of given number x. The same property can be applied to the polynomials. So here I can say x square minus 5 by 3 is also factor of p of x. Now to obtain the other zeros, we need to divide the expression p of x by x square minus 5 by 3. So this is what we discussed earlier. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. In this case, the remainder will be 0. The dividend is nothing but the expression. Divisor is nothing but the factor which we obtained just now, x square minus 5 by 3. So we need to divide p of x by this to get the quotient term. So let us do that. So here we are performing the division of the given two polynomials. So we need to write it down in the format. So here we have the divisor and this is the dividend. So over here we have the quotient term. how to obtain that, that's what we are going to discuss. So the first term in the dividend is 3x to the power 4, and the first term in the divisor is x square. So first of all, we need to eliminate this particular term 3x to the power 4. How to do that? We need to find out the first part or the first value of the quotient. So to find out the first value of the quotient, we need to divide 3x to the power 4 by the x square, that is the highest power of the dividend, by the highest power of the divisor. When we do that, we get the first part of the quotient as 3x square. We need to multiply 3x square to all the values of the divisors, and we need to write it down in the second row. So we get 3x square into x square is equal to 3x to the power 4. There is no term with x to the power 3, so we write down as 0. Then we will get minus 5x square, that we need to write it down under the x square, and we get no term after that, so we will be writing it as 0. So we perform the division process, we change the signs, we add those things, and we get the first term nullified. So we get a new dividend now, that is 6x cube plus 3x square minus 10x minus 5. How did I get it? I just carry forward the remaining values by adding the second row. So I got 6x cube plus 0 as 6x cube, 2x square plus 5x square, over here this is a minus, so we get it as plus 3x square. We get carry forwarding of these two values, minus 10x minus 5. So this is the new dividend now. In the new dividend, we have the highest power of x as x cube. So we have 6x cube, that's what we need to eliminate over here. To eliminate this, we need to find out the second part of the quotient. To get the second part of the quotient, we need to divide 6x cube by the same x square. Why the same x square? Because that is still the highest power of the divisor, that won't get changed. So I'll be getting 6x into x square as 6x cube plus 0, because there is no term with x power 2. Then we get minus 10x when we multiply 6x to minus 5 by 3 as minus 10x. There is no term with x power 0, so that is 0 over here. We will perform the division process, we change the sign, we add up, we get the first term nullified, the second term gets carry forwarded as 3x square, the third term also gets nullified when we add plus and minus 10x, the fourth term gets carry forwarded. So the final dividend will be 3x square minus 5. We need to eliminate this. To eliminate this, again find the last part of the quotient. So here the last part of the quotient is 3, because when we divide 3x square by x square, we will be getting as 3. So plus 3, we need to multiply to the divisor, we get 3x square minus 5. When we change the signs and add them, we get the final remainder as 0. So when we need to perform the division till we get the remainder as 0, in case if the quotient is the perfect factor, or else we will be getting some remainder. That's we need to write it down in the equation. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So over here we got x square minus 5 by 3 as the first factor, and 3x square plus 6x plus 3 as the second factor. So this is how the division is carried out. So next we need to factorize the equation 3x square plus 6x plus 3, and we need to find out the zeros of the equation. So we are in the last part of this particular problem. So we need to factorize 3x square plus 6x plus 3 to find out the remaining two zeros. So we'll be equating this particular expression is equal to 0. 3x square plus 6x plus 3 is equal to 0, and we have the 3 as the common factor. we take it down or divide it by 3 to get the simplified expression as x square plus 2x plus 1, and this is in a well-known format a square plus 2ab plus b square, where a is equal to 1 and b is also equal to 1. Even if we are going to the general factorization method, where we are splitting the middle term 2x such that the splitted terms, when they are multiplied, we get the answer as a into c, that is x square. So here also we will be getting the final factor as x plus 1 whole square, or a plus b whole square, where a is equal to x and b is equal to 1. So x plus 1 whole square is equal to 0, or simply you want to find out the zeros, we take the square root. X plus 1 is equal to 0, so x is equal to minus 1 and minus 1. That means this particular factor as 0 has two zeros at the same junction or same point, minus 1. So the expression p of x has total 4 zeros, one at root 5 by 3, other one is at minus 5 by 3, and other two are at minus 1. So the final factors are nothing but x square minus 5 by 3 and x plus 1 whole square. These are the final factors. In case if you want to move further and if you want to verify the obtained factors, we need to just multiply these things. When we multiply it, we need to get the p of x, or the original equation, as the answer. So when we do that, as you can see, simple multiplication of these two factors will result in the final p of x verified.